So now I try. This is my very first time trying this. So my name is Helle Winding, and I have been part of a team of 5 studying business literature, design thinking literature, and that has given us the opportunity to make a model that will support innovation in education. So I thought I already had spoken for 20 seconds, so now, okay, so anyway, but where does great innovation come from? And we have looked a lot in the different books and articles and found out it's just not a moment of great ideas. It's actually something that you work on. You build on each other's ideas. For instance, Darwin, actually his evolution theory, it took 15 years, even though that he wrote in his books that it just was one moment. We have made this model. We have 5 phases: the find, the frame, the form, the fabricate, and the fulfill. And that is the model that I'll take you through now. And it's very much both business and design literature that has made the foundation for this model. In the find phase, it's really about where do you identify the real problems, the user needs. It's the people first approach. It's all the empathy that you're using. You use the association mapping. You observe your personas. You use personas when you look at their needs. And in the find phase, I think General Electric is a very great example of when you do something wrong. Here we have Doc. Doc, he was the best engineer ever, and he made this fantastic MR scanner. However, it did not work for the consumer. The little girl, she was scared. She said to her mom, "Oh, Mom, I don't want to go in there." She had to go into anesthesia. And he used all the development budget to make this MR scanner. However, then he spoke with the kindergarten specialists, pedagogues, psychologists, etc. And then he came up with the experience room. They reduced the anesthesia with 90%, just redesigning it. So this is about, you see where your consumer is, what do they feel. If he had worked together with others, he would have had the first solution first. Here we have a baby incubator. It was sent to Africa. What a great idea to try to save life. However, there was a big problem because it could actually not be repaired. In Africa, they had not thought about what kind of spare parts should be needed. Actually, what was important in this country here was they had a lot of Toyotas. So when they came down after a year, they realized they were not working. So the second generation of these baby incubators were made with Toyota spare parts. So now afterwards they really worked. So it's about knowing what is possible. Okay, then we came to the next phase, the frame phase. Now it's all about asking the right question, utilizing your insights, making a pattern, make sure you have the sufficient knowledge, always ask with why. Do we need to visit, find again? This is where you make your design brief. And here I would like to introduce you to Kobe. He's a little fit Japanese guy, and actually he went into a competition. He wanted to be the world champion eating hot dogs, and so he thought, I can do that. But could he do that? He was a little skinny guy, and I'm sure his competitors would be big guys. But what he did was that he reframed the question. He did not ask, how many hot dogs can I eat in 12 minutes? He asked, how can I make a hot dog easier to eat? So he broke the bread, put it into olive oil, he swallowed the bread and the sausage. The world competition was 25. He actually made it in 50 hot dogs in 12 minutes. Just reframing the question, just asking the right question. Now we go to the form. Now we have asked the right question. Now we come up with a lot of the ideas. It's all about idea generation, post-its, you be brave, you build on each other's ideas. No one solution, many solutions. Here we have a task. We have carried this through with a company, 20 students, and then afterwards another 200 students. We were given the task was make world's best security process, improve passenger and operator experience, increase capacity, and we needed to make radical innovation. Wow, that was a big task. What we used was actually to make the Sudoku method. We asked in the middle here, the students, they came with their big question, the reframed question here, and then they built upon the ideas. Very simple. You can also draw this, and then they came up with one idea here that led to more ideas, but it's a very systematic way of forming and and come up with great ideas that you can actually build upon afterwards. And here we can see we actually took our first semester students, 200 students, through this model here, and they came up with so many great ideas that the company, they had given us another assignment. And here you can see they go a little step further. Now they go into fabricate, so now they need to make the prototype. You build the prototypes, you communicate through 2D or 3D. You make something that people can react to, because the prototype is worth 10,000 words. So it's much easier to, to relate to something that is made for real. Here you can actually see the prototype and just touch it. When we made a consumer an experience at Lego, we also make prototypes all the time. So anything that you can react to would be much easier than just to make a simple brief. So basically what we have learned, taking 200 students through this, is that what I hear, I forget. What I see, I remember. What I do, I understand. An old Chinese proverb that really, really works. And it's basically also what Lego they say. They say hands on, minds on. And that's what we have taken all our first and second semester students through. Finally, now we need to realize, does this work in real life? One thing is that we believe it in the team, so now we can go into the market. Now we need to test, does it work? We can have when we bring it to the market, we talk with our clients, we make a trial launch, we can go and make crowdsourcing, get the feedback online. And finally, what is most important is that we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. And I think that was kind of like the headlines today also in the presentation just after lunch, and also by, what's his name, Alan Gibb, this morning, that we cannot just use the same templates, the same spreadsheets when we educate our students. We need to get them their hands on and bring them out in other situations than what they're used to. So.